This is the XRP 1 month overview reading for August 2022. It's currently July 11th, 2022, 9:01 p.m. So the overall theme and behavior for the month is a sideways rotation along an important support level, and that's an important support level on a year-to-date chart. It's crossed with a couple things, with a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support, as well as a big move. There's a big move in there, like a price differentiation, like from high to low or low to high. There's a big move in there, at least one, and there's at least one trade opportunity that will stand out here. There's one trade opportunity here this month that will stand out on a year-to-date chart. The behavior around the month's high is sideways rotation along a support level, which is a bullish indication. At least for a little while, we'll turn a resistance into a support. Looks like we have a notable sharp decline on a 1 month chart. A sharp decline will stand out when we come off of that high, the month's high. And behavior out of the low is going to be a notable, on a 1 month chart, it'll be a prominent move higher out of the month's low, and there'll be a trade opportunity in there. One trade opportunity at the month's low. It looks like we may have two really notable lows. So let's get into it. On the first, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a sharp decline through a key support level. It's going to be a prominent move here, and there's one local low. So by local low, what I mean is if you're looking at a 1-day chart, you'll see one prominent low there, and it will form when out of a decline. There's a fast sudden move higher marking the end of that decline. On the second, we have one local high. So on a 1-day chart of the second, we'll have one prominent high that stands out. There's going to be multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. That'll be the main behavior of the day. A trade opportunity near a support level, a swing trade opportunity near a support level here, and that's on either a 1-day or a 1 month chart. Both of them. It's on a 1 month and a 1-day chart. And there's a false temptation at the end of the day. Like there may be like a wait and see attitude, and I'm advised not to wait and see, but to take action when I feel that sense of wait and see attitude, a false temptation. Maybe I shouldn't sell, possibly something like that. But the following day, we have a month's trough or prominent, a month's low or prominent trough. This is very likely one of the two main lows for the month. We have either the end of a swing trade and the beginning of a swing trade, or we have a day trade here. One of the trades here on the 3rd takes place in the midst of a big move higher out of the trough, out of the month's trough or low. And the other trade takes place. The other trade involves sideways rotation along an important support level on a 1-day chart. There's one local high. That local high, from that local high, there's a confusion-fueled panic that sends the stock lower. Same thing for the second. I may have left that out, but there's a confusion-fueled panic. There's something going on. On the 4th, we have and there's a crest towards the end of the day on the 3rd, or early on the 4th. And on the 4th, we have a fast sudden move higher marking the end of a period of decline. That's the main behavior. And guys, when I say main behavior, that's like the general behavior. You have to cross it with whatever the 1-day reading is that we do, but we don't do it for XRP. I'm just saying if we did. And also, it could be like a day, give or take a day on some of these, because the sequence of events is always going to be accurate. On the 5th, we have another prominent trough for the month. Less likely to be the month's low, but a prominent trough here, and a fast sudden move higher marking the end of a period of sideways rotation along a support level that will stand out as important on a 1 month chart, at least. And then, so out of that fast sudden move higher towards the end of the day on the 5th, or possibly it's the 6th, or it extends into the 6th, but we have a move higher on the 6th that successfully turns resistance into new support. This is a type of behavior that we likely will see near the month's high as well, successfully turning resistance into new support. I am advised during this this crest here to open up protection, and there's a swing trade opportunity when we're bouncing sideways along support, so likely near the high based on the information we've gathered thus far. There is also a there's a correlation to the theme card in sideways rotation along an important support level on a 1 month, or actually on a year-to-date chart. All right, so at the end of the day, or early on the 7th, we have a trough and then a little bit of a move higher into the middle of the day. There's two local highs and one local low, two local highs and two local lows, and one swing trade opportunity. Swing trade opportunity takes place involving 3 pokes through the same price level, followed by a sharp decline through support. The 2 local highs, there's a notable decline off of that high on a 1-day chart. It'll stand out. On the other, in moving into the other local high, there's a notable move higher into that high that will stand out on a 1-day chart. Out of the local lows, one local low will form when a rally ends with a fast sudden move higher, followed by a breakdown through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. The other low that will move into the low, and then the other local low will form when out of a decline we have a big move higher, a full move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range, starting out of a decline will form that other low. And overall general theme card for that 7th is in the midst of a decline, there's an opportunity to open up a long position. On the 8th, we have a cross with the crossing card, the defeat card, and we also have a local low. There's a big move to the upside, like it'll stand out on a 1-month chart. And the local low, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. And that correlation, remember that correlation to the crossing card. So there's a notable moment where we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through support, and that'll be on a 1-month chart at least. On the 9th, we have 2 local lows, and we also have again a correlation to the crossing card. We have a 1-month crest. This is most likely the crest of the month, the 9th. We may see a couple other crests here, but this is most likely one of the main crests, being that it's the Ace of Swords, which marks an important price level, in this case on a 1-month chart. And from that price level, there's generally a breakdown with increasing volatility on the way down. The 2 local lows, one will stand out when there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. The other local low will form when out of a near overbought peak or crest we sell down to it. But again, this is likely a prominent moment, prominent high. Likely a prominent high on the 6th too, but we have a crest, a month's crest or high here on the 9th. On the 10th, we have 2 local highs in the midst of a sharp decline that increases momentum as we move forward throughout the day. One of those local highs forms when there's a sharp drop on a 1-day chart, and the other one forms when there's a big move to the upside, moving into that high on a 1-day chart. On the 11th, we have 2 local lows, and there's a notable reversal that will stand out on. There's a notable reversal that will stand out on the 1-month chart. The local lows, one local low will form when when a rally ends with a fast sudden move higher, followed by a breakdown through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility into the low. The other low will form when out of a decline there's a big move from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of a range. On the 12th, we have a drop to and through a support level to meet a second support level, then we move sideways, rotating along that support level. There's a swing trade opportunity in there when moving sideways along that support. On the 13th, we have and there's also a correlation to sideways rotation, so an important support level on a 1 month, and possibly even on a year-to-date chart. On the 13th, we have a local high and a local low. The local high, there's a sharp drop out of the local high, and out of the into the local low, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a rally. After that fast sudden move higher, there's a breakdown through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. And we should see a breakdown on the 13th, an overall breakdown to and through to a second support, and we bounce along sideways along that support, and then we break down further. However, there's a big move. It looks like we hit a low probably towards the end of the day or like mid-afternoon, and then there's a move higher out of that. It looks like there's like a breakout at the very end of the 13th or early on the 14th. However, on the 14th, we have we have two swing trade opportunities or one-day trade opportunity in the midst of a sharp drop within a period of volatility. There's one local high. The local high forms when there's a prominent move higher, usually out of being oversold, but a prominent move higher on a one-day chart to meet the high. And then the two trade opportunities, one of them will take place when we have a notable move higher on a one-day chart. The other one will involve three pokes through the same price level followed by a sharp decline. And there is a possibility of a bit of a trough in there, maybe like a secondary trough. But I think probably we have a trough or low here on the 13th. Could be the 14th, 13th, 14th. And then on the 15th we have we break down from a price level that's from a price level that or a high that we don't see again within the time frame of the 15th. We break down through a key support level at least, and there's two local lows. One local low forms when we have a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a decline. The other local low forms when when there's profit taking out of an overbought or near overbought or territory on RSI, if that's I guess not on RSI but near overbought territory. On the 16th we have a local high, we have a swing trade opportunity. The local high forms when there's a notable move higher on a one-day chart. We may have another prominent trough here, but if there's a prominent trough here, there's a notable reversal off of it. And the swing trade opportunity involves three pokes through the same price level followed by a sharp decline. The overall theme on the 16th is there on a 1 month chart there's an important resistance level there. On the 17th we have a failed attempt to break through probably that resistance level we just spoke of. On the 17th we have a failed attempt to break through it, and then we have a sharp decline through an important support level as correlated to the crossing card, but there's notable volatility that increases as volatilities move into the day. On the 18th, we have one swing trade in the midst of three crisscrosses through the same price level. The third cross confirms a bullish trend, at least temporarily, and the swing trade opportunity takes place when we're rotating sideways along support. We have the second of the second of three main crests or prominent crests or highs for the month here. The second one here is on the 19th. And we revisit an important support level here that was a past opportunity. There's a sharp dip within a period of sideways rotation, but we have a crest there. The crest may be on the 18th. It's the 18th, 19th. Let's say 18th, 19th, 20th. It's in there because we have an important resistance level again highlighted on the 20th. And the swing trade opportunity rotating sideways along support. There's like a high in there, a prominent crest or high there between the 18th and 19th and the 20th. Somewhere in there, most likely the 19th. But we may revisit it again. On the 20th, there's three pokes through the same price level, and then a sharp decline off of that third poke. That's a swing trade opportunity in there. And then there's also one local high that forms when on a one-day chart there's a prominent move higher. Towards the end of the day, I'm advised to open some protection. We have impressions of a decline forming. On the 21st, we have one local high when we have a rally that increases in momentum moving into the high. That's a local high on a one-day chart, but the overall behavior should be a decline once we hit that resistance. That rally moving into the resistance, and then from that resistance we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Those spikes up hit moving averages as resistance. On the 22nd, we have one swing trade opportunity and one local high. A local high forms when we have a rally that moves, that increases with the momentum as we move forward into the local high. We have a swing trade opportunity that forms when we have a move higher through resistance level, followed by, and we stay there briefly, and then we break down through that resistance level again. There's sideways fluctuations throughout the day with a bullish trend on the 22nd, and it looks like we may have a crest. There's like another crest in here on the early 22nd or on the 23rd. And there's a crest on the 23rd. There may be one there early on the 22nd. We'll see. It's a little interesting there. On the 23rd, we have sideways price swings with a bullish trend, and there's one swing trade opportunity that forms when we rotate sideways along support. On the 24th, we have a swing trade opportunity when we rotate sideways along support. There should be a holding pattern of some kind due to something having to do with Congress or possibly a leader, something legislative to do with crypto, or it may be something to do with a decision being made by an important leader specific to XRP. Like there's a leader there in a holding pattern and a trade opportunity in the midst of that sideways rotation holding pattern. Looks like likely a bullish opportunity because the next day we have a prominent crest or a month's high again on the 25th. And that'll form when we're rotating sideways along support. We move higher, bump up against resistance the nearest resistance momentarily, and then we move back down to that support level and move sideways along it. And again, guys, remember there's that sideways rotation along support that we have as behavior near the month's high. So again, that type of behavior there. This is likely the month's highest high. If we break out here, it's likely that this is a highest high. It may be the same, but it's likely that this is a higher high. On the 26th, we have a sideways S formation between horizontal support and resistance. One local high that forms when confusion fueled panic sends XRP lower. There's two trade opportunities. One that forms when we have a move higher through resistance. We stay there briefly and then we break down through support. Another trade opportunity when we're rotating sideways along support. And then we have another month's low. This is likely a month's low, or it's at least a prominent trough here. Here on the 27th, a prominent trough. Out of that prominent trough, there's a notable move on a one-day chart higher. But the overall theme and behavior on that day, based on what I'm seeing here, is that we revisit past problems and there's a sharp decline, a flight to safety. On the 28th, we have a swing trade opportunity and one local high. The local high forms when we have a rally that increases momentum moving into the high. And then the swing trade opportunity when we break through resistance and we stay there momentarily before breaking back down through that same price level. On the 29th, we have a breakdown through multiple support levels. There's a swing trade opportunity when we're moving sideways along support. On the 30th, we have a swing trade opportunity in the midst of a move higher through a horizontal resistance, and we stay there briefly before breaking back down through that same price level. And there's one local high that forms when a rally increases with momentum moving into it. On the 31st, we have one local high that forms when confusion-fueled panic sends XRP lower. And we have one swing trade opportunity again that involves a sideways rotation along support. The overall theme and behavior for the following month, we have an important a ruler of nations is highlighted. Something highlighting a ruler of nations, and more sideways rotation. For the next month, looks like there's an important trough that forms on a year-to-date or a multi-month chart. Yeah, we're affiliates with Simple Swap now. So if you're planning on buying or selling XRP or swapping it into another type of coin, you can do that easily from our affiliate Simple Swap, and you would definitely be supporting our channel by doing so. Much appreciated for those of you that choose to do so. Look out for that link at the bottom in our description. And much appreciated, my friends. That's XRP for the month of August 2022. Let me know if you want to see more XRP by hitting that like button. And do me a favor, if you've already subscribed, hit that share button, share with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's the best way to support us, my friends. And most importantly, when you make money from that reading, pay it forward. I'll see you guys on the next one.